the act of mentally rehearsing it creates an image to the future, and all of a sudden, your future becomes more real. You will believe more in your future than your memories of the past. And so by definition, when you create a future, okay guys, we're talking about the law of attraction, okay? And waiting versus creating. And let me tell you, I do not like waiters. And I'm not talking about servers at restaurants. They're great, and I think they deserve a living wage. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about waiters, people that sit around waiting. And what do I mean by this? I mean people that are waiting and waiting for something outside of them, outside of themselves, to create a feeling about how they feel on the inside of themselves. These are people that are waiting for a new random relationship to spawn out of thin air without actively going out and talking to people. People that are waiting for a new miracle job without applying for jobs. Someone who's waiting for that lucky break without doing any creating. And this is a fallacy that we see so many people going through, because what are they doing when they're waiting? They're creating feelings and emotions of lack, of emptiness, of fear. And if you ask any successful person, they tell you that the real currency is time. The real currency is time. It is not their money. And so people that are sitting around waiting for something outside of them, outside affirmation to make them feel a certain type of way, are literally spending their currency of time, wasting their currency of time, repeating the same habits and feelings of yesterday instead of creating. So let's think about this. Most people will get up on the same side of the bed, they'll shuffle to the bathroom, they'll go to the bathroom the same way that they do, they'll brush their teeth in the exact same routine way, they'll shower in the exact same routine way, they'll make coffee, they'll drive to work the exact same way, they'll see the exact same people, have their same emotional buttons touched, drive back to home the same way, and rinse and recycle. And nothing for them changed that day, but yet they're secretly waiting for something to change in their life. But if they're not doing anything new, how is anything going to be expected to change? If you're not having any new thoughts, new behaviors, new choices, new experiences, new emotions, how can anything be changed? You're trying to hope for a new reality as the same person. And so if you're the same personality, you cannot create a new personal reality. And so that's why we need to talk about creating. So how do we create? Well, what you have to do is you have to create a clear intention. This is a thought. This is a vision of the future. And you have to match that with an elevated emotion. Because how you think and how you feel creates your state of being. Okay? And this is creating. This is not waiting. Creating is actively taking charge, taking the reins of your life. And instead of sitting on your couch after work or before work or in your car and waiting and hoping and wishing, hope is not a strategy, as my mom always said. You have to create. This is getting a clear image of your future and being as specific as you possibly can. Where do you live? In what four walls and roof do you live? Do you have any dogs? What is your partner? What attributes do they have? And how can you act as that person that you want so badly in your life? What job do you want to be doing? What things do you want to be doing? The act of mentally rehearsing it creates an image to the future, and all of a sudden, your future becomes more real. You will believe more in your future than your memories of the past. And so by definition, when you create a future, and this is the simplest, 5 minutes during the day, in the morning, guys, And trust me, as you do this more and more, you're going to look forward to creating your future. I know I do. I can't not do it. It's that important to me. I literally have memories of a jet ski that I don't own, okay? All of a sudden, when you create these feelings of the future, this is where the law of attraction comes in. Because now, this is the cool thing about neuroscience and what we've learned about the brain and the body is, your body doesn't know the difference between what's happening in its outside environment or what's happening through thought alone, okay? So just the act of closing and memorizing a future that you want and mentally rehearsing it, all of a sudden you can start creating those feelings that you were waiting for. You don't need to have a new relationship to feel love. You don't need to have a new job to feel empowered. You don't need to have new friends and a nice car to feel rich inside. You can create these feelings without having any outside affirmation affect you. And when you start creating these feelings and you start embodying them, your body will now start feeling happy, rich, successful, empowered. And that's where the law of attraction kicks in, because when you now start feeling these feelings without these outside events, now you're signaling a new frequency. You're creating a new energy. You're creating a new magnetic field around your body. And now that you have these things, these feelings, now you are starting to attract the things that your past self thought you needed in the first place to feel these emotions. And that's how you attract what it is that you desire. By feeling as though you have already accomplished and acquired those things, then they will come to you. Because by definition, when you do that, you're no longer living with the affirmations of lack. You're no longer reaffirming your fear. You're no longer reaffirming your emptiness. Okay? Because when you think of lack and you keep embodying lack, your predictable past is going to become predictable future. But if you can create a clear intention and elevated emotion, your state of being becomes that of a happy, loving, successful, empowered person who's rich inside. You're no longer having these feelings of lack. You now have a created emotion of empowerment, happiness, and full of rich life and energy. And now you're going to start attracting those things that your old self had thought you needed to be able to even feel those emotions. And so that's how the law of attraction works. So start creating, stop waiting, and take the reins of your life. 10 minutes in the morning, close your eyes, and envision a clear intention of the future and emotionally feel as though those things have really happened. When I used to do it, I would literally feel myself on a jet ski. I could feel the sun on my skin. I could feel the ocean, salt water blasting on my face, and I would literally, in the middle of closing my eyes and meditating on that clear intention, I would scream, "Woo!" like I was riding a jet ski and going off a wave. You can create just through thought alone. So I challenge you guys to do that. If you guys thought this helped you out, leave a subscribe and a comment below. And please, let's be self-empowered.